Sorry, trying to get this camera just right where I want it and make sure the stand is going to hold too. Just give me just a second there. Nope. Okay, I think we're going to do. So give me just a second to find this on my laptop now. There we go. Okay, and I think I've got everything set up. All right, well, thank you for joining me, whether you're catching me live or on the replay. I really appreciate you watching. My name is Christy Hillock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Located in Salt Lake City. And tonight I wanted to just show you kind of a one-sheet wonder, but it's a little bit different. So that is going to focus on the Peaceful Prints paper. So before we get started, I did just want to announce that Janie has won for last week's sharing. So I really appreciate everyone who likes and shares my videos. When you share, if you'll make sure to just type shared in the comments of this video, that way I know who shared, because a lot of times privacy settings don't allow me to see you. So make sure you do that. I really appreciate it. And Janie, congratulations. This week you are getting a pair of a set of Stampin' Blends. These are the Fresh Freesia color. So congratulations. I love these. They're alcohol-based markers and they just color beautifully. So I hope you are excited. All right, then the next thing is that I wanted to talk about my August class to go, which is focusing on the Nature's Harvest bundle. And I did last week's Facebook Live with that bundle as well. So these are 3 of the designs, and the class kits include all of the cardstock pre-cut, and if there's an embossing folder or punches that you might not have, I punch those. All you need to supply is the actual bundle, so the stamps and dies. And then your kit also includes a half a pack of the printed paper and these beautiful little brushed metallic adhesive backed dots and this shimmer ribbon, or I think that's what it's called. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, hey, thanks, Mom. So the kits are wonderful. They allow you to craft whenever you want to without having to necessarily do a bunch of creating on your own. Trying to think what else about them. For this class, there is, so I told you you need the bundle, and then you also need Daffodil Delight blends and Old Olive blends and Memento Black ink. And that's it. The rest of it is all in your kit. The registration link for this class is in the description of this video. And moving on, they just announced yesterday what the next paper pumpkin is going to be. It's called Haunts and Harvest. And so what Stampin' Up! Has done is taken Halloween and also just Harvest and created a kit that you can, whether you do or don't like Halloween, whether you do or don't just totally love harvest time, you can make really fun treat packaging. So this kit will allow you to create 12 treat packages, and there are crisp apples and pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. And then something else that they did that's really fun with this one, it's a special box again, and they on the inside have printed cut lines, so you can cut the box apart actually and create a wheelbarrow. So just kind of a little 3D project that's fun to have on the side too. So thank you for sharing it, Pat. I'm glad you're here and I'm glad that you got the cards. So, all right, that's Paper Pumpkin. There's a link to sign up in the description of this video as well. The next thing is that it's currently Celebration. So this happens twice a year with Stampin' Up! And basically what they do is for any $50 order that you place through the online store, you are allowed to pick one free item. So this printed paper is actually one of the freebies, and there's several other things as well, and they're all just adorable and fun, and so you don't want to miss out because who doesn't love getting free stuff anyway? So, especially when you're going to be shopping, regardless of whether there's free stuff. So let's be real, everybody loves to craft in the fall and getting close to Christmas, so this is a great time to get ready for that. The other thing that's going on during celebration, if you decide, there's just more than I can even stand that's so cute, then you can sign up as a demonstrator. So, as a demonstrator, you never have to demonstrate, which is kind of one of the main hangups. But really, what it means is that you just get to be part of the team, and it's $99 to get $125 in product of your choice. And during celebration, when you buy this starter kit, you also get to pick a bundle for free, and that's another $40 to $55 usually. So it's a really amazing deal. Definitely, if you've ever thought about it, I would do that just for the sign up, gifts or however you want to describe it. But if you do decide that there are more things you want after you get that starter kit, then every order from there on, you get 20% off. So that discount's really nice too. Um, Okay, next class that I'm doing in person is Monday, September 27th. It's a really long stretch, so I'm hoping I can plug something in between. But our schedules are crazy in September, so we'll just see how things go. And I think that is all that I wanted to tell you. So what I'm doing tonight is it's kind of like a one sheet wonder, except it's 6 sheets. So I'll show you, I'm not going to do the entire thing tonight, but I will show you the layout and some of the cards that you can make. So all of these patterns are from the Peaceful Prints Designer Series paper in the Celebration bundle, and they're gorgeous. It's black and real red and basic white and Sahara sand and garden green, and they are just lovely together. So what I did, so this is called a Pick 6 Wonder, basically. So I have all of these sheets that are 6 by 6. All right, and then what you do, I have to look at the instructions so that I don't cut wrong. So there we go. Okay, so as I said, you start with 6 pieces of 6 by 6, and you do want to make sure, because some of these are directional, so I'm going to go through and make sure that they're all pointing towards the top. And okay, so we've got these 3 that are directional and the rest aren't. Okay, you then take, I'm going to do 2 at a time just because the cutter will handle that and it will make this go just a little bit quicker for you. So you're going to take your 6 by 6 and cut off at the 2.5 inch mark. So I'll pull that through, and then you will rotate these pieces and cut off at 1 3/4 and again at 1 3/4. And then that leaves you with a 2.5 inch square. So I'm just going to set those aside, and now I'm going to take my 2 sections that are 3.5 across the top, and I'm going to cut those down. So the first panel is 2 3/4. And I seriously just love this trimmer for this kind of thing because it's so quick and easy to see what you're doing and just get it all scored and cut if that's, if you're trying to do both. So this I'm taking down to 3/4 of an inch. And then that leaves me with 2.5 by 3.5. Okay, so I'm going to do one other thing. Let's see here. Okay, so with these two squares that are 2.5 by 2.5, you want to go from the right side of them at the 1.25 mark. So it's basically the halfway point. And get your cutting blade up to the top, and then you'll just cut that halfway across, so down to the 1.25 mark. Okay, so there is that. So now you have kind of just little flaps there. I'm going to set my trimmer aside, and you guys don't want to watch me make, I think it's 18 cards. It's a lot of cards. So I've done a lot of this beforehand, but you know, at Christmas you're trying to make so many. So if you see, this is these little rectangles, and then I just had a punch and a stamp, and it's good to go. I could add some ribbon or some sequins or rhinestones or something like that as it gets closer, but it's really nice to just have simple cards ready to go. This one is 2 equal pieces, and then that skinny belly band there, and just a little bit of ribbon. And then this one uses those 2 squares that I just showed you how to cut here. And then this one is the largest rectangle, and then I took another rectangle and folded it in half and hand cut, so forgive the wobbly lines there, but hand cut a heart and then another heart out of the center and flipped it over so you see both patterns there. So I thought this was a really neat way to show so many of the different designs. And then this is another version of that. Oh, I'm glad you're liking them. This one is what was left of the little bitty scraps at the end. And I just put them all on there and pretended that I could get everything lined up and straight, and I think it turned out pretty well. And then I haven't finished all of the rest of these, but oh my gosh, it makes so many cards. So I feel like out of a sheet and a half, essentially, of designer series paper, you really come out with a lot. So what I wanted to do, let me find my sample here. I just wanted to show you how to do this, because if you notice, you get all 4 of the patterns that are on your papers. So the first thing that you do is just have them kind of nest together like that. And then, let's see, I'm just debating which way to fold them, because the deer, I don't really want just his little tail showing. So let me see if going this way turns out better. And if just his little tail is showing, I can probably cover that and not worry about it. But, you know, it's nice that you can sit and fiddle and kind of figure out which way things should go. And I think that's going to be a little bit better. So I am just going to do just a touch of adhesive so that this all holds together, and it really doesn't take much with this. Okay, so just a bit there. Make sure I did it right. Took me a while to figure out what I was doing when I did this the first time. So okay, and now I'm just going to fold these pieces back on themselves. And I'll just burnish those lines so they're nice and crisp. And I know it's August and it's not Christmas time, but this paper has so many beautiful designs that are not Christmas, and some of them are a little more intensely fall, but I mean, a plaid's a plaid, it's great. This could be suns, possibly, depending on which ones you're looking at, but this is amazing. This looks like tree bark to me, and I love it. And then just another plaid. So I really feel like these are a great pattern, especially for free. So we'll just secure those little flaps now. Okay, and then to get ready for this, what I did was just cut cardstock in card bases, and then I can come along and see which one I like this on the best. And I feel like that's awfully dark, so we're not going to go with black. And the Sahara sand, I think, is probably going to be the winner. The red would, it just feels out of balance since there's red on this side but not there. And I think the white would work, but I do just like that the Sahara sand is a little more subtle, so we're going to go with that. So I'll just fold this card base now, and this is just 8.5 by 5.5, scored on the long side at 4 1/4. So just a standard half sheet of cardstock. And then I think I want the deer going up off the sheet. So now I can glue that on. And the reason that I'm using more seal than liquid glue on this set of projects is just that the designer series paper is thinner and I don't want it to wrinkle up with the wet liquid glue. So there is that, and I think maybe we should do a white tag now. I'm glad you like the paper. It's not one that I was very excited about initially, to be honest, because I was not super excited about the deer bundle in the holiday mini catalog. And I still am not that excited about it, but the colors in the paper and the patterns are just gorgeous. So I'm really glad that I went ahead and got this and have gotten to work with it a little bit. And now I've got a head start on my Christmas cards, which is fantastic. So, okay, so this stamp just says Merry Christmas. So any sentiment stamps that you have would work for this project. And then any punch or die that you have to cut out your sentiments. So part of why I wanted to show you this tonight is just that I want you to know that you can do a ton of crafting without necessarily having a ton of supplies. And the paper adds so much to it that, you know, you really don't need all the ribbon and die cuts and other embellishments that, that we sometimes get so keyed up using. So I'm just using this punch, and I just realized I have absolutely no idea what it's called. So yeah, I love the font. It's a little bit casual, but still kind of fancy, kind of, you know, kind of like handwriting. Okay, so that's ready, and now I'm just gonna do my standard little Z-fold with my ribbon. It's quick and easy, and you don't have to watch me struggle with a bow that doesn't want to tie like I was doing right before I went live. So there is that. And then I'm just going to run a strip of seal across the back here. And so we'll sit this down. And one thing that's really nice about the seal too is that you can lift up and reposition until you get things right where you want them. So there is that, and I think that's just lovely. And then I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. And I'm just using minis because I couldn't find any regulars. So there's no other reason other than pure didn't feel like getting up and finding the real thing. So I do think that for the most part it would have been a little bit easier for what I've been up to if I had had the full size. And then I'm just going to put one last little bit right in the middle just to keep it from sinking down in the center. So that is it. And you could always come back in with rhinestones or whatever made you happy. But as I said, I just really wanted to focus on keeping things a little more simple than I do a lot of the time. Because, yeah, just just need to be able to do a lot with just a little. So I hope that seeing that little trick with the squares gave you some ideas. And, go through old stamp sets, old paper pumpkin sets, and see what sentiments you have that you can work with, what printed papers you might already have, and, with black ink, you're good to go. So as I showed you, I'll just lay these other layouts out. And you can tell, like this one I lined up nice and straight, and those are just kind of offset. So you can do a lot of different things with the same pieces even. Okay, I'm really pretty sure there's another layout here. Okay, there's this one, and instead of doing the heart, I cut out a tree and then cut out an inner tree. And it's a little bit tougher to tell because it is the red plaid on both sides, but only the snowflakes are in the center tree there. And let me see. Oh yes, this last little one. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed this tonight, and I really appreciate you being here. Definitely, if you need any of these supplies, I hope you'll shop my online store. There is a link in the description of this video, and I so appreciate your business. And don't forget that you'll get freebies right now for every $50 order. So if you're close to 50 and not sure what else to order, you can never go wrong with the multi-purpose liquid glue that I normally use all the time, or a pack of dimensionals. So those are really quick and easy ways to get up to that free gift level. So I will talk to you next week. Let me know if you have any questions or if you need help with the cutting of the paper to get these different layouts. Thanks so much. Bye.